Hi everyone, this is Kelly Huber, and today my group and I will be presenting on Chapter 7. You'll hear from myself, Brad Croft, and Ben Langston. Conway's Law states, any organization that designs a system will inevitably produce a design whose structure is a copy of the organization's communication structure. How we organize our teams has a powerful effect on the software we produce. Organizing our work in teams so that Conway's Law works to our advantage will get fast flow of work from development into operations with high quality and great customer outcomes. Done poorly, Conway's Law will prevent teams from working safely and independently. Instead, they will be all waiting on each other for work to be done, and small changes could create catastrophic consequences. With Conway's Law in mind, there are three primary types of organizational structures that show how we design our DevOps value streams. They are functional, matrix, and market. Functional-oriented organizations optimize for expertise, division of labor, or reducing cost. Centralizing expertise helps enable career growth and skill development. This is the prevailing method of organizations for operations. Matrix-oriented organizations combine functional and market orientation. Matrix organizations frequently result in complicated organizational structures, and sometimes neither of the goals are achieved. Market-oriented organizations optimize for responding to customer needs. They tend to be flat and composed of multiple cross-functional disciplines that often lead to redundancies across the organization. Conway's Law predicts that an overly functional orientation can cause undesired outcomes in the technology value stream. In traditional IT operations organizations, we often organize teams by specialties, putting the database administrators in one group, the network administrators in another, and the server administrators in another, and so on. This creates long lead times and poor work handoffs, which results in work waiting in long queues at every step. We will now hear from Brad.
Enable market-oriented teams. We need to reduce the effects of function orientation, optimizing for cost, and enable market orientation, optimizing for speed. Teams responsible for feature development, testing, securing, deploying, and supporting service in production from the idea of conception to retirement. Team attributes include cross-functional, independent, able to design and run user experiment, build and deliver new features, deploy and run their service in production, and fix any defects without manual dependencies on other teams, thus enabling them to move faster. This model is how Amazon has been able to move fast and grow. Netflix has also adopted this model. Finally, utilize engineers and skills into teams. Make testing, operations, and security as everyone's job every day. Teams should share a common goal of quality, availability, and security. We can be flexible on what is the most important problem every day. Dev and ops is not the defense and offense of a football team. Rather, ops is offensive line and dev is the skill position. Our offensive line protects those skilled positions, such as the quarterback or running back, to enable those skilled positions to perform and do their job function. Facebook engineers who worked on call received vital feedback on architecture and coding decisions they made. Enable every team and every member to be a generalist. Over-specialization can lead to siloization. Siloization leads to multiple handoffs. Enable team members to become generalists. Generalists are those that have a specialized focus in 1 to 2 areas, but they have a broad knowledge of multiple topics. By cross-training and growing engineering skills, generalists can do orders of magnitude more work than their specialist counterparts, and it also improves our overall flow of work by removing queues and wait time.
Thank you, Brad. So, fund services and products, not products. So another way to enable high-performing outcomes is to create stable service teams with ongoing funding to execute their own strategy and roadmap of initiatives. The goal with a product-based funding model is to value the achievement of organizational and customer outcome, such as revenue, customer lifetime value, and the customer adoption rate. We should design team boundaries and align them with Conway's Law. As an organization grows, one of the largest challenges is maintaining communication and coordinating between people and teams. All too often, when people and teams reside in different places, which could be a different floor, a different building, or even somewhere else in the world, it's hard to create and maintain a shared understanding and trust that you need to be an effective team. And we want to create loosely coupled architectures to enable developer productivity. When we have a tightly coupled architecture, small changes can result in large-scale failures. So, and as a result, everyone working in one part of the system must constantly coordinate with everyone else working in another part of the system that may be affected. So an SOA, a service-oriented architecture, is one that services are independently testable and deployable. A key feature of an SOA is they're composed of loosely coupled services in bounded contexts. So the key takeaway is when Conway's Law is done well, an organization can engage their developers to safely create, test, and execute value to their customers. Thank you. That's our presentation for this week.